Caitlin Clark is driving the WNBA insane. It's to the point that she may need to step away from the WNBA, have a billionaire come in that has the money to prove a point, and say, Caitlin, I'll pay you $50 million just to see if the WNBA can make it without you. Let's go create a complete different league and expose the hell out of the WNBA just to embarrass this Angel Reese girl that Jameel Hill just said she could go down as a Michael Jordan of WNBA.
Yeah.
And what
Caitlin Clark is now being blamed for the WNBA's failed CBA talks by players and media who spent the last 2 seasons treating her like a problem instead of a star. Rumors are spreading that she may look to Europe if negotiations remain stuck. The same league that used her momentum to secure a $2.2 billion media deal now risks losing her because it couldn't stop undermining its own growth. The panic is justified if Clark actually ends up overseas because the WNBA can't fix its internal mess. Who is really at fault? The players who resented her or the league that allowed it to happen?
So the WNBPA is taking to social media, taking to the public. And I want to share with you guys the most recent letter that was issued from the WNBPA. At midnight, the 2020 WNBPA collective bargaining agreement will expire. Despite demonstrating our willingness to compromise in order to get a deal done, the WNBA and its teams have failed to meet us at the table with the same spirit and seriousness. Instead, they've remained committed to undervaluing player contributions, dismissing player concerns, and running out the clock. Today's display of an inflatable rat, a universal symbol of labor protest outside of the NBA store, calls attention to how the league and its teams have handled these negotiations. By delaying and clinging to the status quo, they are jeopardizing the livelihoods of players and the trust and investment of fans, all in the name of preserving regress.
The WNBA is staring at a reality it never planned for because it never believed it could happen. Caitlin Clark, the athlete who delivered record viewership and mainstream relevance the league had never seen, may decide that Europe offers more stability than the dysfunction freezing women's basketball. In the United States, that possibility has sent alarm bells through league offices and should terrify everyone whose income depends on the WNBA's survival.
It is overdue. I feel like the players have lost sense of reality a little bit, because imagine putting up a rat that a lot of unions do when it comes to like schools, construction companies, people that are making a lot less than the kind of money that the WNBA players are making. They got offered a max salary of over $1 million. Their max salary last year was $250,000, and now it's over $1 million. And then on top of that, the average salary is around $500,000. And then you're putting a rat out in public display. I don't know, I feel like you've lost sense of reality a little bit. That's not the real world. The real world does not want to hear constantly about millionaires' problems.
Let's be clear about what's unfolding. CBA negotiations have collapsed entirely. The deadline passed with no deal in place. Players are being accused of pushing unrealistic demands. The union claims owners are refusing to properly value their contributions. Free agency is stalled because no one knows what the salary cap will look like. And in the middle of this disorder, certain players and media voices chose to pin the failure on Caitlin Clark. That choice could go down as the worst strategic move the league has ever made.
People were saying, hey, this could be Caitlin Clark's fault. And before I just flipped and lost my mind, I had to sit and think about it. And you know what, Caitlin Clark, this is all happening and it's your fault. You're the reason. Your greatness, your star power, you are the reason for there being no 2026 WNBA season as of now. Because had you not been such a great player and a big star, these women wouldn't be demanding all of the stuff that they're demanding right now. So yeah, I guess technically it is your fault, I guess. You're too big of a star.
Clark generated more attention for the WNBA in a single season than the league had gained over the previous 10 years. Combined, her games consistently pulled in millions of viewers, sold out crowds, followed the fever everywhere. Her jersey became the top-selling product in league history. Networks committed $2.20 billion in broadcast rights largely because of the audience surge she drove. Every financial boost the league enjoyed leads back to her influence on the mainstream. And how did veteran players respond? With resentment, envy, and overly physical play that repeatedly crossed the line, fouls that would have been judged differently for others, public complaints about favoritism, while also arguing she earned too much. The contradiction was glaring. They wanted the money her popularity produced while hating her for being the source of it.
That the WNBA has hostile players, bro. We all witnessed it during the 2025 and 24 season. These players pretty much hate Caitlin Clark with a passion. And I'm here to tell you right now, the hate is growing even stronger because many people in the Players Association and people in the media is blaming Caitlin Clark for potentially being the one holding out when it comes to this CBA not getting done. Now, the players had a chance to go on a strike.
Now that CBA discussions have collapsed, Clark is suddenly being framed as a possible obstacle. That narrative makes no sense. She never issued public demands. She never threatened to stop playing. She remained composed while everything around her unraveled. But facts become irrelevant when someone needs a target to shift blame away from their own mistakes. So Clark is blamed for negotiations she has little to do with, while union leadership with clear conflicts avoids serious criticism.
She passed, said no thank you to the NBA, offering her a chance to participate in their three-point shooting contest. Now think how amazing that is. If I'd have said to you a couple years ago, yeah, the NBA, to save their All-Star weekend, they're going to ask a WNBA player to join the three-point shooting contest to save.
This is where the European option starts to matter. Basketball leagues across Europe have been recruiting WNBA players for a long time. The pay is often higher, especially once housing, travel, and added perks are included. Life overseas can be easier without non-stop media attention that follows players in the US. The level of competition stays high enough to remain sharp while avoiding the chaos currently affecting the WNBA. For a player like Clark, Europe checks several boxes at once. She would leave a setting where veteran players clearly resent her. She would sidestep the instability caused by CBA talks that could stretch on for months. She could earn equal or better money without dealing with the hostile treatment she faced in Indiana. And she would still compete at a high level while her brand keeps expanding worldwide through endorsement deals. The fear this scenario creates within WNBA leadership and players is completely understandable. They know exactly what happens if Clark walks away. TV ratings instantly fall back to pre-Clark numbers. Casual fans who tuned in just for her lose interest and stop watching. Sponsorship deals built on projected growth get revised or dropped. The entire financial setup based on continued popularity collapses. Clark leaving would reveal how fragile the WNBA recent success really was. It was not organic growth driven by collective effort. It was one player capturing mainstream attention in a way no one else could. Take that player out, and the league is left with something most casual sports fans still ignore. That is basic organizational responsibility. Support the person driving success. Do not allow jealous veterans to create hostile conditions. Handle flagrant fouls properly instead of letting physical play spiral. None of this required elite strategy. It only required not sabotaging yourself. Instead, the league delivered 2 seasons of Clark being treated poorly while leadership failed to act. Commissioner Kathy Engelbert offered vague comments about physicality being part of the game. Officials allowed contact that would lead to suspensions anywhere else. Media voices minimized her impact while boosting players who could not attract similar audiences. The message was obvious. We will use your popularity, but we will not protect or respect you. Now that negligence could cost them everything. If Clark decides Europe is the better move, she is not coming back. Once she leaves, momentum changes and new opportunities appear elsewhere. Her appeal is global and goes beyond the WNBA. She does not need American women's basketball the way it needs her. That imbalance should have been clear from the start, but jealousy and short-term thinking blocked it. Owners seem to grasp this more than players do. They are pushing teams to move forward with free agency plans despite CBA uncertainty. That suggests they expect a deal eventually and refuse to let union pressure freeze operations. This interim period lets teams send qualifying offers under expired CBA rules while talks continue. That legal structure gives ownership more flexibility than players realize. Players believed rising revenue and attention gave them leverage. But that leverage only exists if the source of attention remains involved. If Clark leaves, it disappears instantly. Owners can then point to falling ratings and shrinking sponsor interest to justify rejecting union demands. The entire negotiation shifts from pay-us based on recent growth to hoping the league survives without its biggest draw. Union leadership with Nafisa Collier as vice president has added complications through clear conflicts of interest. She runs Unrivaled, a rival league that benefits when the WNBA struggles. That damages her credibility in negotiations, and her public criticism of league leadership while promoting her own project has weakened the union stance. Now her league ratings are poor, and suddenly she is trying to appear cooperative. The shift is obvious and ineffective. Kelsey Mitchell's free agency situation shows everything broken in this process. She is one of the league top players, and was vital to Indiana's success with Clark. Her future should be simple to resolve. Instead, it is tangled in wider negotiations unrelated to her value. That uncertainty impacts her career planning and the Fever ability to build forward. All because league-wide talks stalled over issues that could have been settled months ago. The Fever built something special. Clark, Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, Lexi Hull, Nalissa Smith. The chemistry and talent created basketball fans actually wanted to see. They reached the playoffs and proved they could compete when things aligned. That momentum should continue next season with upgrades and growth. Instead, everything is unclear because people meant to focus on expansion got distracted by grudges and power plays. Blaming Clark for CBA failure is the clearest case of self-sabotage. She is why negotiations matter at all. Without her influence, the talks would be about small tweaks, not major revenue sharing and salary growth. She created the financial surge that makes player demands realistic. Yet some players turned her into the villain when talks stalled. The lack of foresight is stunning. The tweet suggesting Clark could indirectly end the WNBA is no longer absurd. If she goes to Europe and ratings crash, the financial system holding the league together breaks down. TV contracts get cut. Sponsors pull back. Teams lose money again. Things could unravel fast once the growth engine vanishes. That is not Clark's fault. That is organizational failure by people who should know better. How Clark was treated will be documented. ESPN will eventually produce a 30 for 30 on how the WNBA had its biggest star ever and still created such a toxic environment that she considered leaving. How veteran players reacted to success with jealousy instead of appreciation. How union leadership prioritized personal ventures over shared interests. How league management failed to safeguard its most valuable asset. It will be a lesson in dysfunction and wasted opportunity. Europe offers escape from all of that. No se vea chaos. No resentful veterans throwing cheap shots. No media stories questioning whether she deserves credit she clearly earned. Just basketball in strong competitive settings with teams that want her. The lifestyle difference matters too. European clubs often provide housing, vehicles, and amenities that simplify life. The pace is calmer without constant scrutiny tied to being America's most debated athlete. The money comparison is more nuanced than it seems. WNBA salaries are capped while European deals can be very profitable for stars. Add benefits and lower living costs in some areas, and total compensation often surpasses what U.S. teams can offer under current CBA rules. And none of this depends on negotiations that might last months or years. European teams can present firm terms immediately without uncertainty. Clark endorsement income already far exceeds her WNBA pay. Nike, Gatorade, State Farm. Those deals continue no matter where she plays. Her global image could actually grow faster in Europe by positioning her beyond one troubled league. She becomes an international star rather than a figure tied to dysfunction. That narrative shift has long-term value beyond her playing days. The fear spreading among WNBA stakeholders is justified. They are realizing the growth they celebrated may have been borrowed, not built. It came from one player, not systemic improvement or group effort. Remove that player and the league returns to irrelevance for most people. That truth was always there, but denial is powerful when admitting it means admitting mistakes. Owners understand this more clearly than players. They are not scared of union threats because their leverage improves if Clark leaves. They can cite collapsed ratings to reject demands. They can argue the union misplayed its hand and destroyed the value it sought. The negotiation completely flips once the source of growth steps away. Players who spent 2 seasons resenting Clark are about to learn a costly lesson about biting the hand that feeds them. Their earning power exists because she brought attention and money. Their leverage in CBA talks depends on the growth she generated. If she leaves and it collapses, they will suffer most. Clark has options. She will be fine. Veterans whose careers rely on WNBA stability are the ones who should be scared. The regret is already visible if you know where to look. Players who dismiss Clark influence now quietly admit ratings dropped without her. Media figures who criticized her worry whether casual fans will return if the season is delayed. Union reps are realizing their position was weaker than assumed, but admitting errors requires humility that has not appeared yet. The panic is real because they finally see what they are about to lose. Smash that like button and subscribe to see how this situation unfolds because it is getting worse by the